What's up, beautiful believers? I hope you all had a great yesterday. It's a whole new day now. I'm always seem to be up late at night. But first, I just want to thank God. Like, I always want to come on here and just first thing I want to do is encourage y'all to thank God for just everything that He's blessed us with, everything that He's seen us through, every trial, tribulation, every hill, every valley. Like, I'm thankful for every step of the way. Um, Man, we are in some crazy times. Like, we are just in some crazy, wild. It seemed like hurricanes is hitting, and it seemed like it's just life is just a hurricane right now. Um, and I just want to come on here and share with y'all. Me personally, I'm an emotional. Like, I'm reading a book, Emotional Intelligence 2.0. I'm very impulsive, emotional. Um, and when I see things going on around me, I tend to be impulsive with my response and things like that. And sometimes, those things result in me maybe posting something and then taking it down, posting it and taking it down because it's like, okay, that was the flesh, like that was your opinion, or that was like not what God wanted you to relay. And so I have to kind of dial myself back. I'm trying my best not to get too wrapped up in all of this stuff. I get re emotional every time somebody talks about this North Carolina thing. um, I don't get too emotional about the election at all anymore because God has been very clear to me on his position for me on that. But with this new stuff coming up, I think I was at peace with the election stuff, and then this happened, and now it got me all riled up again. But how can you not be riled up? How can you not? Like, I know a lot of they say they call it misinformation and disinformation, and it comes from both angles. It comes from both sides or whatever. So I don't think anybody should be pointing their finger at nobody because nobody got a finger to point. But some things are just, I'm thinking to myself, whether they are they telling the truth or are they lying to me, are they gaslighting me? But some things just make logical sense, right? So for me, if you're not giving hurricane victims the same funds that you're giving to other entities, those are facts. Like, those dollars went out. Those are people. I don't understand how people think we just straight dumb. They really think we're dumb or something because it's like you can't just sit up here and say yes when it's no or no when it's yes. And it's certain things you could just go look up. I looked up the FEMA thing, and that's why I shared it because I just want everybody that's surrounded by me, or that's around me or associated with me, to be well educated. I don't want them to go off of headlines. I did that at a very young age, and I learned very quickly when I wanted to go into politics in 2008 that you got to operate on facts. Now, it doesn't seem that way now. Everything's all messed up, but that's what people do. You know what I mean? Like, look, we were given a perfect world and we messed that up, you know. And thank God that he's coming, Jesus is coming back to bring peace on earth. And you know, um, so we definitely have that hope to look forward to. But yeah, I just wanted to let y'all know, um, things get heated. Like, people getting their emotions. I don't even say people. I'm gonna say me personally. I get in my emotions. I get my feelings about things, and I go on rants and things like that, and then I vent, and then I may be good, and then I see something else, and that's another thing I need to stop getting stuck in the scroll. But just because these are the major things that are happening, those are the things that are coming up on my timeline. And as these people are able to report, because really, I'll tell y'all, like, I used to be in media. You don't get to report always what you want to report, and you don't always get to report what needs to be reported. I'll just put it that way. You get censored on stuff like that, and I see a lot of censoring going on, so I get it. I mean, like I said, I was in media. It's my passion, and that's why I don't do it, because it tries to silence me. It doesn't let me have my own opinion. It doesn't. It wants me to align with its agenda, and I just couldn't do that. So that was something I had to step down from. But as you're watching these stories come out from the actual people, these are the people in these areas that were hit. Like, the things that they're telling you, they're not a lie. Like, everybody wants to fact check and debunk this and do that and blah 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 blah. But these people are telling you what's happening. They're telling you that the government's not helping them. They're telling you that they've gone for 7 days without food and water. They're saying that they're being denied these so-called FEMA funds for certain reasons or whatever, and things like that. Now I don't know how true the whole have to pay that money back thing is, but man, if that's true, that's terrible. And everybody has to agree that that's terrible. These are our fellow brothers and sisters in Christ. Like they're out here suffering. And first of all, you shouldn't trust anybody that doesn't want to show you that. Like anybody that wants to overlook human beings suffering to fact check somebody should be a red flag for you. If it's not, I don't know what your thought process is. It's just not like mine. You know what I mean? I don't condemn you because the Lord don't condemn you. I love you. But I just want to encourage everybody to take a look at this whole situation and understand. And my daughter and I were talking this morning, and one of the first things she said is, "This is about picking a side. This is about picking a side, meaning, are we gonna pick good or evil?" And I totally agree with her, because my spirit and my energy has just been telling me personally that Jesus is back. Jesus is back, and people don't understand it. I'm hearing a lot of messages about we out of time, like we out of time. So the time for like people like me or whatever, not saying I'm perfect, but anybody who is trying to be on the side of Christ, trying to do the right thing every day and live a righteous life. Well, we actually been given a righteous life because of Jesus Christ. Thank you. Thank you. And so, but and it's other people that's lukewarm and they're not in it. Like God is drawing a line. So I actually opened my Bible last night and turned to Revelation, the one book that nobody ever wants to read. And it was talking about the seven churches, and in that what I read, because I didn't do, I just went to I think chapter up to chapter 4. It was talking about the seven churches. It was talking about what some of them were doing well, how they were enduring, how they were, denying false prophets. Some of them were just really giving the whole church over to false prophets, and they needed to fix that. But basically, what it's saying is, it's like, hey, you're doing this well. I've seen you, suffer persecution in my name and things like that. However, some, like for example, the Church of Ephesus, and I don't have my notes, so I'm gonna do it off the top of my head as best I can. But the Church of Ephesus had heart problems, like they weren't loving like they used to. So he's like, so I just need you to work on that. Or, the ones that was with the false prophet, he's like, hey, you need to denounce this stuff or whatever. But it's just going through all these different things that the church would need to get in order. The good things and then the bad things. Like if you do this, then you're gonna be straight. And it really resonated with me. I made a list of all the positive characteristics that I wanted to adopt based on what the orders were being given to those churches. But the very beginning of that book, it starts out very clear, and it's like, hey, the time is near. That's one of the first thing it says. The time, something like the time is near, or something that indicates that we don't have much time. I have been feeling like an emptiness to the world, like a disengagement from the world, and just a drawing to God. And so I understand why distractions are coming to me. I understand why distractions are coming to you. There's a reason that all of these things are going on right now, and it said that I've heard accelerated rate. I haven't read that in the Bible, but I'll look it up if it's there. I'll know because I read my Bible. But it said an accelerated rate, and all I could think of when all of this stuff is happening all at once, like I'm like, wow, this is an accelerated rate, because normally we don't have this many things going on at one time. So to me, I just kind of feel like the enemy feel like his time is running out, right? So he got to try to distract us with as much as he can, as much as he can. He got to get us on that wrong side, and I just want to encourage y'all, just follow God. Like every decision I'm making is to try to follow and align with God's word, because God knows I love him. God knows that I want to spend the rest of my life with him. Like I just, man, me and Jameer talk about it all the time. The streets are gold, and Jameer, he's so excited for heaven, and I'm so excited for heaven. And that's just where we want to be. Um, but I do also understand everybody ain't going there. Everybody not going. So I'll continue to make my messages that may fall on deaf ears, because the Bible actually talks about that. It talks about how there are messages that are going to fall on deaf ears. The people are not going to listen, but only because God wanted you to know. He's giving you chance after chance after chance. And I think we're getting so clouded by everything that's going on. Even myself, I fall into it. I fall into it too. That I forget just about how good he is, and that's what I should be focusing on, right? Like even in this storm, yeah, he allowed this storm, but look at all these beautiful things that have come as a result of the storm, right? We're looking at a government that we feel like has just left these people for dead, but then, and you're like, wow, where's the hope in humanity? But then here comes people on the ground, like, not, it doesn't have to be the government. Let the government deal with the government, but um the people on the ground that are actually making a difference, people that are actually making donations, people that are actually donating their time, and it just restores my faith in humanity. Like the people that are still alive in high spirits and things like that, they going through something terrible. For them to be in high spirits, man, I'd be down when I like, man, I'd be down when I can't go to a something I wanted to go to, something minimal like that, or can't buy something I wanted to buy for my house sometimes. So it's really just giving me perspective every day. That's why I told you I might watch this every day. I got to be careful because I'm letting it get to my emotions, because as the stories come out, they just are terrible, right? You just can't believe what would happen. But I think like I said, I was listening to Pat Robertson, I believe it was, the founder of 700 Club, and he was like, we give too much energy. Like we give way too much energy to the enemy. Like we give him more faith than we give God, and we got to look for the God in everything, right? And so I'm moving and operating on what God is telling me, and I'm gonna see the God in everything. And I'm slipping up sometimes because my emotions, they take over. But God has to remind me that it's not about your emotions. You know what I mean? We in a fight. We in a fight, and we need to stay focused. If we're not staying focused, we mess around and get caught up in this, and then we be having to answer to God when or to Jesus when he come, or to God, when he's answer, when we have an answer, and we're going to have to answer this nonsense that we let ourselves get involved in. And I don't want to be in that position. I mean, if God is really coming back, are you really in a position where you want to be to meet him? Um, are you really talking like he would like you to talk, or speaking on things that he would want you to be speaking about? So that's my focus right now. Like I'm trying to focus as much as I can on speaking alignment with God. Like my mind aligned with God, my spirit, my soul, and my flesh. So I have to continually surrender. I have to stop myself, pull back several times a day, because I'll get heated and talking about stuff, and it'll be just it's irrelevant. It's irrelevant to the grand scheme of things. There's a bigger picture here, people. That's all I want you to know. There's a huge bigger picture, and I don't want y'all to miss it, and I don't want to miss it, right? So you hold me accountable, I hold you accountable. You know what I'm saying? But I'm gonna hold myself accountable. I know about accountability. I'm not afraid. I don't run from it, and I'll face it head on. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong, and I'm gonna call myself out. But yeah, I just want to share that little piece with y'all. Just a little vent, whatever. But just to let you know that, hey, it all roads lead back to God. You know what I'm saying? Like all this stuff you seeing on, like, I don't watch mainstream news or whatever, because like I said, they're not gonna give you the truth. But when you start getting stuff and information, like, it's okay to, like somebody said, it's okay to be informed, but don't let it consume you. It should not be the first thing you think about in the morning, last thing you're talking about at night. God should really be your focus. And he has been pulling me into some deep prayers and things like that here recently. And I'm just excited. A lot of people are nervous and scared and things like that because they feeling like the return is coming. But I'm excited. It's not a scary thing to me. Um, I know what side I choose. I know what side I'm on. I know what side I choose. And it has nothing to do with a person. You know, if people were wiped away, what would you do then? Like if somebody wasn't here that you are putting all your hope in, what are you gonna do then? So yeah, I choose a more firm foundation, and I hope y'all I choose a firm foundation for you. I'm praying for you all too. So, look, y'all have a beautiful night. I will talk to y'all soon, and this is just my 2 cent, and that's all it is, 2 cent. Peace.